is the quality and character of the leader that determines the performance, the results. So leadership is a matter of how to be, not how to do.
To say that it's an honor to be here would be a massive understatement. So thank you very much on the day before Thanksgiving for giving us some time. I'm curious as we get going, an estimate. How many interviews on leadership have you done during your career? Perfect answer.
I have no idea how many interviews on leadership. Everyone has been exciting, and I've been honored to do them, and I've tried to be as forthright as I can be.
Yeah, it is a pleasure to be here. And maybe the easiest place to start, how do you define the concept of leadership?
I've worked over the years, and this definition stays with me. Leadership is a matter of how to be, not how to do. You and I spend most of our lives learning how to do and teach other people how to do, yet in the end we know it is the quality and character of the leader that determines the performance, the results. So leadership is a matter of how to be, not how to do.
Under that umbrella, is that a function of your head or your heart? Is that something that you think consciously about, or is that just something, kind of the school of thought that you're born
They're
with that?
inextricably together.
Connected.
There's no division at all. It's your head, it's your heart. Yes.
Together. If you had to identify, and I know you've done this on many things that I've had the honor to watch, if you had to reflect upon the first time in your life that you identified leadership, you said, that's leadership. Do you remember what that was, or any event from your life where you just said, that is how to be?
Well, you have to go way, way back in time. I lived in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, big coal, big steel, big labor town. I was the mother of a little boy 8 years old, and somehow I found myself the leader of Girl Scout Troop 17, 30 little girls, 10 years old. We were 2 blocks from the mill gates. And I took them for 6 weeks until we could find a real leader. And we stayed together until the 10-year-olds graduated from Johnstown High School. That's when I had to define leadership for myself.
In the context of doing that, what were, if you remember, what were some of the initial obstacles, things you came up against, fears, insecurities? Maybe in your case you didn't have any of that, but what?
I wouldn't call them obstacles, but distilling language. You don't want 5 sentences. You want a few words.
Mm-hmm.
And that just seemed right. Somewhere along the way, it emerged.
I also infer from your definition and discussion of leadership that it's not a function, as you see it, of position. It's not
no up, down, top, bottom, superior, subordinate. No.
Yeah.
It's circular. And we all share
I have seen things that you have done with Alan Mulally from Ford, and I've heard him describe you as his favorite leader. If you were telling somebody else the qualities that Alan Mulally brings to leadership, what would those be? Accomplished.
Alan Mulally looks at his people and he gives them the kind of leadership, respect and appreciation. And he and I did a leadership session. I was teaching every other month at West Point, and I thought it would be a lot more exciting for that class of 24 cadets if I took a great thought leader with me, not just Francis, but a great thought leader. He was one of those. Now we're sitting knee to knee. There are 24 second-year cadets, and I introduced him as the great thought leader I brought with me, Alan Mulally, and I said to them, Mr. Alan Mulally is the great corporate leader in America who is famous for having transformed the Ford Motor Company. He looked at them, and in this tough voice, he looked at me and looked at them and said, I did not transform Ford Motor Company. The people of Ford transformed Ford Motor Company. Well, that's what they're learning. They all cheered, they got up, jumped up and down. I sat there totally diminished, but that was what he said. I did not. It was the people.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what they wanted to hear.
Yeah. The whole idea of, and you, of course, wrote the book on this, but like influence through humility or just removing any kind of ego, you know, from the I'm in charge, I'm leading, but really, you know, the efforts of the people, that's they're leading themselves. That's a quality on a very large stage.
Yes.
That you had and that you're saying he had as well.
And still has.
Yeah.
Just so inspiring to be with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Other people, other leaders that you think are forefront that we should be paying more attention to, either in, you know, business or politics or the military or...
Well, I truly believe, and I use this in speeches, since the beginning of our country, there have been two institutions that have sustained the democracy. One, the public school, public education, and the United States Army. Go back, think about the beginning of our country. What public schools have meant to the poorest of our children, to all of our children, and the United States Army. Mm-hmm. They have sustained the democracy.
Oh, yeah.
To serve it, to live.
Absolutely. All four of us are going to go do something good because we've been in the room with you.
Well, I hope we don't say goodbye. I hope we stay together.
Well, we will. Again, on behalf of everybody at the Center for Leadership Studies and Marshall Goldsmith, our good friend, it is a pleasure to be here, and thank you very much.